Hey guys, what's up? This is my final review for iCarly, and it was for the last episode, the last new episode. Um, iGoodbye. Now, first off, I want to say that the episode was great. It was perfect. And I've got my opinions about certain things. And yes, I'll talk about that big issue I know is reeling in people's heads. But I want to talk about the episode and the people that were on it itself. Okay, first off, the episode was great. It was a great ending. Perfectly. Okay, I didn't see anything wrong with it because of certain things that are going to be happening anyways in the future. So anyways, the episode, it starts, Spencer, basically the plot of the episode is Carly wanting to go to this father-daughter dance with her dad. It's a military thing, and it's the last one she can attend because of the age limit. So anyways, and Spencer's working on this motorcycle for Sacco to give to his cousin for a birthday gift, you know. So anyways, I'm not going to talk about the whole episode because I don't, it's so hard to talk about, you know. But anyways, the people that we saw in the episode, we saw Miss Briggs, and we were back in Ridgeway, in the school. We haven't been there. I don't even know when the last time it was we saw that set, really. I mean, I think it's been a while since they've had normal lives, really, to me. So anyways, we went back to Ridgeway, we saw Miss Briggs, and Carly and Sam, they talked about her pointy boobs, which they talked about in the pilot episode. And I thought that was so amazing. That was just like a little homage to the first episode. And anyways, so the episode, what basically happens is Freddy's got a new phone, and Gibby makes fun of it because it's so big and it's hilarious. And Gibby ends up going to the mall with Freddy, and I think that him and Freddy, I think those two are just perfect buds to me. They've become really close, and and just in my funny mind, I think I'd ship them together, Freddy and Gibby, just because they're so buddy, you know. And you never know. I mean, they're always like hanging out. So, anyways, Sam decides to help Spencer finish the bike because she absolutely falls in love with it. She loves it from the minute she sees it, and she helps Spencer get this one last piece that he needs to get to finish it. But once she does that, she finds out that the bike isn't going to go to Sacco's cousin because Sacco got in a fight with his cousin, and now it's not going to him, and Sacco's just giving it to Spencer, and Spencer doesn't want it, and Sam's basically shocked by all this. She's like, what? And Sam's like, what are you going to do with it now? And Spencer's like, I'm thinking of giving it away, and she's freaking out, but then he's like, I'm going to give it to you. And I just think that's so amazing. Now, I don't know if you have to have like a motorcycle license or anything in the state of Seattle, but I just think that's so amazing because as far as we know, Sam doesn't even have an actual car license. None of them do. Unfortunately, we never got to that because Dan didn't want to repeat what was in Drake and Josh, which I don't really see why he couldn't have, but anyways, come up with their own driving story. But anyways, Sam's got a motorcycle, and it's basically sort of like, this could lead her to freedom, to anywhere. She could do anything now. But anyways, and basically, what ends up happening is Lubert, who brought a piece for the motorcycle that Spencer had ordered, he come up, and he was completely sick and everything. And seeing Lubert again, I just thought was great because we hadn't seen him in forever. So we saw him one last time, but just is seeing, he came up and he ended up getting Spencer sick. And Spencer, one part that I really sort of thought of was at the beginning of the episode, Spencer had mentioned that he had a phone call from a girl, and this was a girl that he actually had truly loved. And I thought that, now I will say, I thought that Spencer was going to go on a date with this girl, they were going to end up dating, going through love, I thought that would be what happens with Spencer. I was like, oh man, he finally gets a girlfriend. But anyways, no, that didn't happen. The day he got sick, but instead, he never really canceled the date, I don't think. I'm not really sure what really happened with all that, but what he ended up doing is when Carly found out that her dad couldn't take her to the dance, Spencer ended up filling in for her. And Sam had realized, because only Freddie and Sam knew about the whole date that Spencer had. And Spencer's like, no, just don't worry about it. Just forget it. It's okay. I mean, it's just the fact that he put Carly, being the big brother he is, he loves Carly so much. He put her first. And even after he got sick, he got dressed in that tuxedo. He had a high fever. He was sweating. He was going to take Carly to that dance just to make her happy, no matter what. He put her before his own self and his health. And I think that's pretty awesome. But I'm so glad that he collapsed on that floor and Carly saw that he was sick and didn't go, because, I mean, who knows what could have happened. But that's just awesome that Spencer loves her so much. And so meanwhile, Freddie and Gibby are at the mall, and Gibby gets a new head, because, he lost the other one to the little girl at the pawn shop. So anyways, but as Gibby's getting his head scanned to have his head made, it gets stuck in a machine. So meanwhile Freddie's at the mall looking for a thing to keep his phone in, and he ends up getting a purse. The guy tells him it's not a purse, but it ends up being a matching purse to his mom, who was at the mall with her friend Lisa, who in real life is Lisa Lillian, aka Hungry Girl, aka Dan's wife. So yeah, that was her little cameo, and I thought that was awesome to see her, because she's such a nice woman. I met her in Memphis. She's so great. But anyways, so that was a whole panic at the mall, but Gibby ended up getting freed of that, and he ended up getting a new pet, a weasel, that was being treated badly. But anyways, when Gibby and Freddie found out about that Spencer couldn't take Carly to the dance, and that Carly was basically sulking and just totally distraught about this dance that meant so much to her, they decided to take her. So they got dressed up, both of them, and they came and they were going to escort her to the dance, and she was crying. But when she saw them, she even broke down crying even more. And the guys, they were just trying to help. They were being friends. And she knew that. But it's something that really only her and her dad could do. And it wouldn't have been the same with them or even Spencer, really. And as Carly was crying or talking, telling them, the others noticed her dad. First time ever we have ever seen him on the show. Her dad comes in, and he basically surprises her and everything. And she gets so excited about it, and really, I mean, the fans thought that it would be like some big superstar or something that has her dad, like George Clooney or Jim Carrey or something like that, but I don't know the guy's name. Someone told me on Twitter, I just don't remember it, but it's not somebody I know. But I think it's kind of cool that it wasn't some big star, because I'm not for the guest star. I was not for all these guest stars coming on really at the end of this last whole season, really, because I think it takes away from the normalness of the show. They're just, I mean, iCarly is so awesome, but really it's become so not like real life related in the last several episodes, I think. But anyways, I thought it was so cool that this is a guy that, hey, I don't know, so I don't think it's like someone big that just playing her dad, because her dad is just a simple guy who we never see. He just serves his country, and that's awesome. So anyways, he ends up taking her to the dance, and it goes great for them. And then they come back home, and the gang is having a random hat party. And that's a little homage back to the first episode. And Freddie is wearing, I don't know if it's that same hat, but he's wearing the same hat that he wore in the first episode, in the first season. That little raccoon hat. So anyways, but then her dad breaks the news that he has to leave again. He has to go back to his base in Italy, where he's stationed, and he's got to leave tonight. And when Carly finds that out, she's brokenhearted because she doesn't think it's fair, really. I mean, that he's got to go back. But then her dad tells her to come with him. Because, I mean, there's lots of kids living on the bases with their parents. Why not she? And she'll be in Italy, and it's a great place, so... And she decides to go. But before she can do that, they have one last iCarly web show. And they have baby Spencer in it, and they have the random cowgirl and the mustache. It's just... And they introduce Colonel Shay on there, her dad. And he finds out that Spencer dropped out of law school. I'm glad that she actually found out about that. And I love how his dad got ready to strangle him and had he change the camera. But anyways, so yeah, they had all that little fun, and then they told then Carly announced that, or then Sam and Carly announced that Carly was taking a break, and that she was going to go live with her dad for a while. And Sam had told her, hey, the internet will always be here. So it's like, I mean, really, that's true. And really, I was thinking of that, yeah, Carly, you go. The fans are always going to be here. We always will be. So, yeah, she decided to go, and they closed out the web show. And, after that, she started packing to leave. And Spencer had really not been emotional about that at all. About her leaving and all. But it was just that really they had a little talk between them, and that just really he broke down there, and he hugged her and told her they loved each other. So, and in that time, I mean, Gibby she got all her stuff packed, but before she left, Carly went upstairs. Now this is the thing. First off, I want to say, guys, I said this before. I figured it a while back. Don't watch iCarly for the SETI or the credit. Don't. It's just you're not gonna end up happy, unfortunately. But what happened is that she went up there to talk to Freddie, and he was packing up all the gear and stuff to take back to his apartment. So what was going on? He was basically telling her to just get all of it out, and she just took his hand, and he stopped talking when he saw that, and she kissed him. Now, what I want to say for this is Carly approached him. He didn't expect it. He didn't know it was coming or anything. She did this. I don't know. I'm going to say that maybe that was closure for her. Because, of course, she's leaving all of her friends. She's going to this totally different country. So, I mean, I think that was maybe a little closure for her on her half. You know? And the little cocky moment where they walked out of the room for her to leave, and Freddie's like, woo! Okay, I just think that's his inner self saying, woo, I got that last kiss. I just want to say that no matter what, there was no I love yous between the two. There was nothing. It was just a kiss. That was it. We all know that Sam and Freddie said I love you to each other. That's it. And the thing is, we all know about Sam and Cat, that new show that's possibly gonna be on Nick. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's even been decided yet. But anyways, we know what's happening with Sam. She's gonna go to LA. She's gonna meet up with Cat. And there was somewhere that I did read that we haven't seen the last of Freddie on Nickelodeon. So, I mean, really, the possibilities are still there. For Creddy, it is closure, it's done. Okay, but for SETI, it's really still in the air. And it possibly is one thing that could shift from one show to another. So, anyways, if you're a SETI fan, and I know that some of the people watching are major SETI fans and were mad, and are mad at Dan, just let it go. Because, guys, it's not worth getting mad over, because when you have to think about this, iCarly is over. Okay? SETI may not be over, but the show is over. The show is done. There's no more random dancing. There's no more web shows. There's no more of that. There's no more Carly or there's no more Spencer. There's no more of iCarly. Okay? There's no more of that. So it's not worth getting mad over. It's not. You just need to enjoy the episode. And I did. And I watched that whole scene. I didn't turn away. I was watching every bit of it. And I didn't find a damn thing wrong with it. I didn't say anything. I mean, yes, some people figured that she hugged him. I didn't think she'd kiss him, but she did. But it really sort of came to my mind that it's maybe closure for her, because we're not going to see Carly again. I mean, Miranda's off at school, so it's not like there's going to be another Carly Shay. So anyways, after that, the Carly was packed up and ready to go, and her dad went down the elevator first, because he had his stuff all packed, and she said goodbye to everybody, and Gibby broke down crying, and Gibby and Carly hugged one more time, and I honestly wish that Gibby had just kissed her right there and then, because I always felt that there was like something. I always felt that Carly had a special care, special liking, special soft side for Gibby. I don't know if it was ever returned, but still, I just always thought those two were cute together. It was like Sam and Freddie and Carly and Gibby. That's how I was. So anyways, he was crying, and then it was time to leave, and they all had a group hug, and they walked together into the elevator, and then the three guys just stayed in the hug, and they walked back into the room, and Sam walked down with her, and that was it basically. And Carly told everybody that she loved him, and then that was it. I mean, after that, and basically for what I know that more happened. I'm just taking a minute to think. Basically, what happened next is like it was sort of a flashback thing where it showed Freddie coming out of the apartment with all the stuff, and he leaned back against the door, and it showed him a flashback to a season 1 of him talking about doing the web show, and then it showed Sam on the motorcycle. It showed Sam on the motorcycle talking, and it flashed back to season 1, one of the episodes where they actually decided to do the web show, and where she was like, "I'll be your goofy little sidekick." So, and all this had started off from when Carly was sitting on the plane, and she had her laptop open, and I don't know if any of you noticed, but Dan Warp's Twitter webpage, and his current icon, the icon we all see of him, his webpage, Twitter webpage, was on her laptop. And I just think that was great. It's like, hey, there's Twitter. So anyways, and she opened up like Carly, and she watched old videos, like back when they first did their first web show and all that. And so it's like we saw little glimpses of the flashbacks, and I thought that was just so emotions. That right there is like, that's like what really sent emotions into me. So anyways, and it showed Spencer, and it flashed. He was sitting in an apartment thinking, and it showed him flashing back to the first episode, and how Carly wanted to use the camera to do a web show, and he had made it into a squirrel, and the squirrel was still sitting by the table, and he picked it up, just looking at it, and it burst into flames. And I thought that was such a perfect end right there. And with Spencer, I don't really know what's gonna happen with Spencer. I thought that he'd find a love, but I'm not real sure. I do wish that we had seen Sako. So, but anyways, so yeah, I mean, at the end of it, it was basically, Carly closed her laptop as the plane got ready to take off, and Sam was on her motorcycle sitting at the stoplight just thinking, and the light turned green, and she drove off, and you heard Freddie say in the background as we zoomed out off the road, and that's a wrap. And that's it. The show's done. No, really, I just think it was great. For anyone who watched the show just for SETI, just don't get me started. Don't even. Because really, guys, come on, it's iCarly. you watch for the comedy. And I know some of you are just probably going to argue with me that, no, I don't care about the comedy. I didn't find it funny. I watched for the SETI. That's it. Fine. I don't care. Whatever. Let you be. But the fact that iCarly's done, there's no more of that. My favorite show ever, and a lot of y'all's, I know, anyone who's watching it's their favorite show ever, is no more. It's not going to be on. And I don't know how long Nickelodeon will keep rerunning it. I really don't know. Because, I mean, right now they were only showing it on the weekends, so who knows what'll happen now. I know that tomorrow a new show for Lucas Crookshank is taking their time slot, so who knows what'll happen. But anyways, I think it was just perfect, and I loved it, and I'm gonna miss it, and there's not much that I can say. I know that there's some sweepstakes going on where props are being there's some sweepstakes that Nickelodeon's doing, the iGoodbye sweepstakes, where actual props are given away. One is the ice cream love seat thingy from Carly's room, and the other's the gummy bear chandelier from Carly's room, and Spencer's bottle butt. I would so love to have that thing, but I don't know what you gotta do to enter to win it, but I will look into that, because I'd love to have that. So anyways, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it was just perfect, and it was great. I don't have any regrets of it. But there wasn't any, there was, and that thing, that little moment, oh, I can't believe I almost forgot, the moment where Freddy, or Sam had called Freddy at the mall, and Freddy had just randomly brought up that, you want to get back together? I'm not real sure. I think maybe he brought that up as a joke, but when she reacted with the "do you," he was like, So anyways, what's up? he like avoided it. I don't know really what could happen from that. I mean, it's not really just something, that's not really something that just happens and then you move on. I think that there's, I don't know, I kind of wish they had talked about that little phone chat more, but anyways, we'll see what happens. Who knows? But, so yeah. And really, there was closure. Freddy, I don't really know what's gonna happen with him. I think that he will be back. We won't know much of his story, but he will be back on Nickelodeon. Probably in guest starring in Sam and Cat. We know what's going to happen to Sam. Gibby is getting his own show, so we know what's going to happen to him. He's going to be like a counselor to some kids, and I think that's ridiculous, Gibby being a counselor. I don't know how that'll go down. But anyways, so Carly's in Italy. Spencer's still in Seattle. Sam is in LA. And Freddy, his may be the surprise. Who knows? But I think it was just perfect. And that's all I could say. It was a perfect end to a perfectly amazing show. So anyways, I want you guys to let me know what you thought. And what was your favorite part? What you liked? Maybe what you didn't like. Just let me know all that. And that's it. I don't know if I can say it. In the infamous words of Sarcastic Leaves, rock on, City Warriors. Rock on. I like that better. Yeah. Oh, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for my videos, so right now I don't know really what's gonna happen to them. I don't know if I'll keep making them or not, but I guess only the future knows, because I surely don't. So yeah, bye guys, and just I want to say thank you all so much for watching my videos. Thank you for your comments, thank you for your support. It's been great, and I've loved it, and I don't know if I'll keep doing it, but I might. If I do, I hope you like them and whatever I talk about. So yeah, bye guys. Never forget iCarly.